Well, it looks like I have made another trip today to the Fairview Cemetery because we ran across a story we really needed to tell. We came across a grave not long ago. One of our viewers pointed one out right about there that we came down to do a story about. When we were doing that story, we happened to run across that story right there, Mr. Harrison. And we're doing that one, happened to run across another one right over here. The thing about graves is they're always like a secret hidden inside of a mystery. It's all just a bunch of names and dates until you look into them and you see a story unfold right in front of your eyes if you pay attention. Now today's story, it's about a man that tended to the dead and the families of the dead before deciding to join them himself. Now, I'm working my way down right here. Now, see, when I did the other story, it was right over there and ran across the Harrison grave right through that tree there. You can see it. While I was down here doing that, I did some video, little short one. You know, it was rainy that day, pretty messy. So I covered, you know, just this little area right here while I was in the area, and happened to do this grave right here. Happened to video this. Sam Moran, 1896-1951. Let me see if I can get a little closer here. I got a light. Don't know if it'll help or not, but we'll see. Yeah, it does. Sam Moran, 1896 to 1951. I guess y'all can see that, right? Sam Moran. Sam Moran here. He was born in Honeycutt, North Carolina on October 16th in 1896. That's almost 127 years ago. In about a week or so it will be. And to be honest, I'm not sure who his parents were exactly, but I do know that his mom went by Octavia Watts when she remarried. She is shown as being in the household in South Carolina with her. He is in 1930. But in fact, a lot about Sam is unknown. We did find that he used to be a dry cleaner, and then somehow, somewhere or another, ended up here working in Williamson, West Virginia, married to a woman named Willa, who was born in Tennessee. Now, Sam was the funeral director at Prim Brothers Funeral Home that I showed you in Williamson with his partner Harry T. Ransom. Now, I didn't even know there was a funeral home at that location, but apparently it stood for a quarter century, and the thing about it, you know, it was my hometown. So you never know what you're going to find right in your own backyard is my point. But anyway, we don't know the exact dates when it closed its doors for good, but it was after Harry Ransom's death, which we had no luck finding for a definitive date on that. So on to what we do know for sure. For some reason, on February 21st of 1951, Sam was at the funeral home, but he wasn't working that day. I think he may have also lived on the site as well. This is the day that he decided to join the people that he had cared for so long and ended his own existence on this planet. He was found by his partner Harry and was laid to rest here, where his grave is now disheveled, overgrown, and almost unreadable. Though I don't feel like Sam really expected much more than that. He seems to have been pretty much over everything that this world had to offer. Either way, I hope he found what he was looking for in the next world. Rest in peace, Sam. It's just so strange when you hear stories like that, the way sometimes when you come out to do these stories, you'll find a family member or something right beside of them who had a really interesting story, and sometimes it's just proximity. It's like your neighbors. You know, you can't control who your family is. You can't control who your neighbors are. A place like this, you can't control who is buried next to you, in the plot next to you, or the grave next to you. You have no control over that. But it is interesting that when you come out, how all of these graves are, they're like books. All of these stories, all of these people. And you go over there looking for that book, and you go over there and read that book, and you tell that story, and you happen to run across another really good book right here. So you tell that story, and then you run across another one right here. And that's the good thing. That's the beauty about what we do, you know, doing these old stories from the past. You never know what you're going to find. You know, it could be a very interesting story, just like Sam here, Mr. Harrison, and the other grave right across the street there. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You never know who you'll meet in a graveyard. 707 Vincent Street. It was right here in this vacant lot where the Prim brothers had their funeral home, and later Harry and Sam purchased it. And this right here is the spot that we were looking for. You know, you got to kind of wonder, you know, I can imagine, you know, having that kind of job. You know, an undertaker can probably have an effect on you. I can certainly see that. But it's kind of extreme. Y'all remember there was a bunch of, they were on VHS called Faces of Death, and there were shows about strange ways people died. And there was a doctor that hosted the show. He did the first two, and I remember on I think it was the third one, when it came out, there was another doctor that was doing the show, and he claimed, I don't know if it was true or not, he claimed that the first doctor that had been doing this death documentary had become obsessed with his own death and how he was going to die, and he couldn't quite figure it out because he didn't know it hadn't happened. He didn't know he was going to die. Anyway, according to the second one, the second host claimed that the first one became obsessed with how he was going to die, and he chose to do it himself so that he would know how he was going to die. Tough. But anyway, this is the actual spot. This is 707 Vincent Street. Okay, moving on to our next stop. This is Leo with the Hillbilly Files. On behalf of myself and Heather, thank you guys for watching. We very much appreciate you guys. You have a really good day, and we will see you next time.